Alright, how's it going now? Today we are revisiting Raspberry Pis and WireGuard servers, and this one's going to be on to how to hook up a Raspberry Pi as a VPN client over WireGuard. This is different than the VPN server, which we set up quite a long time ago, but this is actually how to use a Raspberry Pi to connect to a WireGuard VPN network, and this has a ton of great reasons. So first off, it's great for remote deployments. WireGuard is super fast and really lightweight, and so you can remotely deploy Raspberry Pis and have them automatically connect back to your home's WireGuard VPN server, and that way you can do a ton of automation tasks, especially something like a remote backup, where you can have a Raspberry Pi and a hard drive as an offsite backup that automatically just is backing up files on your main network. This is a great thing for fire or water damage, where you can have your main NAS get completely destroyed and all of your files are still backed up offsite, cheap and easily. Alright, so I've already gone through and I've set up a WireGuard VPN server on a Raspberry Pi using the PiVPN project, just like my last tutorial, and I'll leave that in the description below. And so go ahead and follow that, and then we're going to go ahead and set up a Raspberry Pi to connect back to that exact same WireGuard VPN server. So we're first going to go ahead and SSH into both the Raspberry Pis. This Pi right here, 10.0.3.1, is my host. So that is the server that is hosting the Raspberry Pi WireGuard VPN server. And then this one right here, 10.0.1.31, is the remote one, the one that's going to be connecting to the VPN server. So right now I'm on the server one, and so we're just going to go ahead and say sudo pivpn add. Enter the name of the client. We'll call it SpaceRex. And so just like that, it is incredibly easy. It's gone through and created a config file for the WireGuard VPN server and placed it here. And so we're going to go ahead and cd into that. And you can see it right there, and we'll go ahead and look at it. And so just like that, that is the config file that we need. And so we're going to go ahead and basically just copy it to that client Raspberry Pi. And so that's incredibly easy. We're going to do SCP for secure copy. So it's SCP, the local name, the file that you want copied. And so for us, we're in this folder already, so it's just spacerex.config, and then where it's going. And so that is 10.0.1.31:home/pi. And so basically this will just copy it over SSH. And just do our password. And so just like that, it should have transferred over, and we'll go ahead and do an ls in here. And so just like that, we've easily transferred over the WireGuard, the file. All right, so now I'll go ahead and clear it to give us some space, and let's go ahead and install WireGuard on this remote server. And unfortunately, WireGuard is not yet part of Raspberry Pi's Debian package system. And so it has not been added into Raspberry Pi OS. If you're running Ubuntu on your Raspberry Pi, you could easily just add it, but right now we're actually going to compile the source code. This is going to be better than using an unstable branch for now, at least in my opinion, though it is unfortunately not going to give you a super easy upgrade path. I really wish they would have just added this in already. WireGuard has been out for a very long time now and is so commonly used by everybody. I'm surprised they've not added it in. But we're going to have to update some things and actually compile the source code ourselves, so it's going to take a little bit. So first off, we're going to install some packages with sudo apt update. Well, update our package links first. And now we're going to install some packages. We're going to do sudo apt install, and there's a few of them here. There's Raspberry Pi kernel headers, libif, dev, and build essentials. And finally, git. So we're going to install these 3 packages right here. We're going to say yes. Actually, I guess that's 4 packages. And so this is actually what is going to allow us to compile the code ourselves, because unfortunately we have to do that. All right, and so now we've got the packages we need to start. First, git, to obviously clone stuff from git, and then also basically codes that are going to allow us to compile some code. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a git pull of the WireGuard Linux compact and WireGuard tools. And so that's with this, and I'll leave these in the description below. So basically these are just going to clone these 2 packages that we can then compile to use WireGuard. And so now if we do an ls, we can see that the 2 things have been cloned, and I'll go ahead and clear it to give us some space. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a make. So we're going to make -c. First, the Linux compact, so WireGuard -Linux compact /source J. And so this is actually going through and building the packages for us, because unfortunately it's not part of the apt package system yet for us. And so now it's basically gone through and built it for us, and now we just need to do an install. So with sudo make-c, and now we go further, WireGuard Linux compact source, and now we can install it. All right, and now we're going to do the exact same thing, just this time on the WireGuard tools. And once again, the exact same thing, this time just switching out the Linux compact for WireGuard tools. All right, so now we've compiled and then built and installed the packages we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear it to give us some space. All right, and so now we've built WireGuard into our packages. And so now we will have the WireGuard config folder within etc. And so we're actually going to transfer that here, because if we remember, there is still this config file right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a copy into that file. So we're going to do sudo cp space rexconfig, and we're going to put it in etc/WireGuard. And we're going to call it wg0.conf. And so now that has been copied over. And so PiVPN has already set up the WireGuard for us. And so it's going to be really easy to use. So I'll go ahead and clear it to give us some space. And so now with what we installed as well, we have this wg just quick. So we're going to do wg just quick. And we're going to say up wg0. All right, and so now we should be connected. Let's type IP80DR. And so just like that right here, we have connected to that WireGuard VPN server. So we should be able to ping it. And just like that, we are getting a response from that host IP address, which means everything worked. I know this is unfortunately not the great Debian package system of, hey, just get it and it'll work, but it works. And the one unfortunate thing about this is you're going to have to reinstall this if you want updates. But honestly, WireGuard's not changing that much in the meantime. And hopefully by the time you have to do that, you can just build it with apt-get, hopefully once that's all compact. This way you also don't have to add in unstable packages and have an issue about there being a conflict and accidentally installing something you didn't want that was unstable. And so in a lot of ways, I think this is probably the best way to do this. One last thing we're gonna wanna do is make sure this starts up on boot by enabling the package. So we're gonna do a sudo system control enable WireGuard jack quick at wg0. Typoed there. All right, and so now when we do a sudo reboot, hopefully it should be able to automatically connect back to that VPN server we just set up as soon as it reboots. So we'll go ahead and wait for that. And just like that, it's successfully connected back immediately, and so it is all good. Now every single time you reboot your Raspberry Pi, it'll automatically go and try to connect that WireGuard connection. Alright, well that's it for this tutorial. Honestly, it was pretty straightforward. The one thing that does suck is that you had to compile it by yourself, which I don't love. It makes upgrades a lot harder and things like that, but as soon as it's added in, I will definitely be adding a new tutorial on how to do that. And until then, have a good one. Bye!